The Philadelphia Eagles won their first ever Super Bowl in 2017, made a playoff run in 2018 and 2019. Some began to wonder if it was time for a rebuild after a terrible 2020 season in which the Philadelphia Eagles won only 4 games. 3 of those 4 years, the Philadelphia Eagles franchise quarterback at the time, Carson Wentz, just couldn't stay healthy, as he would be unavailable in every playoff game and missed significant portions of the regular season, ultimately led to the Philadelphia Eagles drafting his replacement in 2020 and Carson Wentz being traded a year later. During this time, the Philadelphia Eagles general manager failed to adequately equip the Philadelphia Eagles offense with playmaking weapons at the receiver position, choosing to spend valuable resources on terrible players in the draft like Arcega, Whiteside, and Jalen, Raegor, despite having an opportunity to draft all pro caliber playmakers like Jefferson and Metcalf. Not only hurt the immediate trajectory of the team moving forward, these set of unfortunate events would be the beginning of the end of an era that produced the Super Bowl and multiple playoff wins. As the 2023 NFL season vastly approaches, let's take a look at how the Philadelphia Eagles began to retool and create not only the most explosive offense in Philadelphia Eagles history, but possibly the entire NFL. I'm Up and Next. This is the Voice of the Eagles podcast. And like always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles. The intro. 2019 was the third straight season in which the Philadelphia Eagles experienced Carson Wentz yet again being injured in crucial moments of the season. The Philadelphia Eagles decided to use a second-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft to sign college football sensation Jalen Hurts. This move shocked most fans because the Philadelphia Eagles had just signed Carson Wentz to a 4-year, $128 million contract. In 2020, Carson Wentz's inconsistent play would lead to him being replaced by rookie Jalen Hurts and eventually traded after the 2020 NFL season. Jalen Hurts was a 4-star recruit out of high school and was highly sought after by recruiters. Hurts was considered as one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in his class. Jalen Hurts played 3 years at Alabama, where he was part of 2 SEC championship teams and won 1 national championship. In his 3 seasons with Alabama, he passed for 5,626 yards, with 48 touchdowns, and only 12 interceptions, rushing for 1,976 yards and 23 more scores. Outside of his highly decorated collegiate career, Jalen Hurts is most known for his high character and leadership put on display his sophomore year, as he was benched in a college national championship game due to poor performance. In the biggest game of his life, he was benched, while his backup led the team to a national championship. Jalen Hurts was seen supporting his replacement and showcasing the true definition of being a great teammate, friend, and leader. Hurts would return to Alabama and compete to win his starting role back, but would eventually lose this battle to Tua. Later that year, in the SEC championship game, he would replace an injured Tua and lead Alabama to an SEC championship. Jalen Hurts could have transferred after being replaced, but he didn't. Instead, he showed support to his teammates, returned the following year to compete, stepped up when the team needed him most, and delivered an SEC championship. Drafting a highly decorated college quarterback with immense upside, talent, leadership, and high character was not only vital, but arguably the first and most important piece to create one of the most explosive teams offensively in the NFL. On December 6, 2020, Jalen Hurts would be inserted into the starting role during a Week 12 game versus the Green Bay Packers, in which Jalen Hurts displayed poise, leadership, calmness, and playmaking ability. It was enough to win him the starting role for the remainder of the season. The following week, his first start, he delivered a win against a top 5 defensive team in the New Orleans Saints. Followed that up with 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, 63 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown against the Cardinals. His third game as a starter versus the Dallas Cowboys, he threw for 342 passing yards and 69 rushing yards. As a rookie, Jalen Hurts became the 9th quarterback in NFL history with 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and 60 yards rushing in a game, and only the 2nd rookie to do so. There are 10 more crazy Jalen Hurts rookie statistics to give you a glimpse of how promising and overlooked his rookie year was. He became the 9th quarterback in NFL history with 4 or more touchdown passes and no interceptions in his first 2 starts. As a rookie, only Jalen Hurts and Marcus Mariota have combined for 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions in their first 2 career starts. Hurts' total of 169 rushing yards against the Saints and Cardinals is the second highest in NFL history by a quarterback in his first 2 career starts. He became the 5th NFL quarterback and first rookie ever to have a game with 330 passing yards, 4 more touchdowns, and no interceptions in his first or second career start. Hurts' 94.7 passer rating is highest by an Eagle rookie in his first 2 starts since Hall of Famer Sonny Jurgensen. Hurts is also the second quarterback in NFL history with 60 or more rushing yards and a 5-yard rushing average in each of his first 2 starts. Hurts' 44 pass attempts, 13 most in NFL history by a rookie without an interception, and second most in Eagles history. Hurts completed 7 passes of 20 or more yards, most by an Eagles quarterback since Foles in 2018. The only Eagles rookie with more passing yards in a game than Hurts is Nick Foles. Only 4 rookies have ever thrown for more yards in their first or second career start. Hurts would finish his rookie year in a season finale against the Washington Commanders, where he was seen clearly frustrated. The organization decided to take every starter out of the game. This move was extremely controversial because Washington needed this game to make it in the playoffs, but a loss would give the Philadelphia Eagles better draft positioning in the upcoming draft that could potentially land the Philadelphia Eagles a star player, and that's exactly what happened. The 2021 draft was make or break for the Philadelphia Eagles. After terrible draft picks at key positions and back-to-back years during the playoff and Super Bowl runs, the Philadelphia Eagles general manager Howie Roseman was on the hot seat and needed to nail this draft. He did exactly that by trading up in the NFL draft to select Heisman-winning receiver DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith was one of the most decorated college receivers in college football history, with 235 receptions, 3,965 yards, and 46 touchdowns. His senior year, he set the world ablaze, winning the Heisman Trophy with 1,856 receiving yards and 23 touchdowns. DeVonta Smith would go on to win 2 college national championships and catch a game-winning touchdown in the biggest game of the year. Blazing speed, quickness, soft hands, elite-level route running, and an uncanny ability to snag the ball out the air, he would hit the ground running. With an amazing start to his NFL career, DeVonta Smith in just 2 seasons in the NFL has 159 receptions, 2,112 receiving yards, and 12 touchdowns. In 4 playoff games, DeVonta Smith has 19 catches, 257 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. Drafting DeVonta Smith did wonders for the Philadelphia Eagles. During the 2021 draft, the Philadelphia Eagles would also draft offensive lineman Landon Dickerson in the 2nd round and running back Kenneth Gainwell in the 5th round. Landon Dickerson was also teammates with both Jalen Hurts and DeVonta Smith. In 2022, Dickerson was named to the Pro Bowl and is one of the most important pieces of the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. Kenneth Gainwell is a dual-threat explosive running back with tons of upside and does tons of damage in the playoffs. In 4 playoff games, Kenneth Gainwell has 187 rushing yards, 5.5 yards per carry, 104 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns as a backup. DeVonta Smith, Landon Dickerson, and Kenneth Gainwell were great draft picks and vital to the team's success offensively and are key contributors to the league's most explosive offense. The 2021 season was riddled with tons of uncertainties. The Philadelphia Eagles fired their Super Bowl winning head coach, lost most of their coaching staff, and got rid of key players that was instrumental in the success of the Philadelphia Eagles during their Super Bowl and playoff runs. Speculations regarding the Philadelphia Eagles needing an upgrade at the quarterback position. This was extremely odd for me personally because Jalen Hurts showcased flashes of being an elite level quarterback in the NFL. Of course, he had growing pains, but when you take into account he was thrust into a starting role as a rookie on an imploding team in the midst of a looming rebuild. It's fantastic, all things considered. Jalen Hurts was clearly the franchise quarterback, but most were too blind to see it and couldn't wrap their minds around how the quarterback position was evolving. With an entirely new head coaching staff for the Philadelphia Eagles, new head coach Nick Sirianni had a daunting task ahead of him, with high expectations after replacing the first ever Super Bowl winning head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles by the name of Dougie P, who even has a statue built next to the stadium. Nick Sirianni received so much hate from mainstream media his introductory press conference, in which he seemed to be fumbling over his words a bit.
to that their core values line up with my core values, right? And they're good teachers of fundamentals. So we're in that phase right now, right? Then it goes to evaluating the roster. But this team and this city, this organization, I'm confident this is a really there's a talented group. Howie and his staff have put together a talented group, and just super excited to work with all the guys here because I know there's a lot of talent in this building.
Things started out tough. Philadelphia Eagles would start the 2021 season with a miserable 2-5 record, having blown out the Falcons in their season opener and barely beating the Panthers. Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith had some extremely impressive games during this time span, but it was on October 31st, 2021, something changed. The Philadelphia Eagles would go on to destroy the Detroit Lions 44-6, rushing for an outstanding 236 rushing yards. The Philadelphia Eagles had found their identity. They morphed their offense into a run-heavy team, became more balanced offensively, and began to use Jalen Hurts as a true dual-threat quarterback. They magnificently incorporated plays that Jalen Hurts was comfortable executing, and it showed. Philadelphia Eagles would go on to win 7 of their next 9 games and sneak into the playoffs where they would eventually lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rookie Kenneth Gainwell was simply magnificent. He would go on to earn the nickname Playoff Kenny after his stellar performance in the 2022 playoffs. During this extremely impressive transformation, Sirianni suggested late in 2021 that he and offensive coordinator Shane Steichen had shared the responsibility for much of their first season in Philadelphia, but Shane Steichen clarified he became the primary play caller about midway through the season. That timeline is notable considering the Philadelphia Eagles experienced much of the 2021 success offensively down the stretch. After opening the year rather pass-heavy, with young quarterback Jalen Hurts struggling to consistently win through the air, Philadelphia Eagles became one of the NFL's top rushing teams during that 7-2 run and throughout the 2021 season. Despite going through a rebuild, the Philadelphia Eagles had the best offensive line in the NFL. This core group of guys were here for the Super Bowl and multiple playoff runs. Having such a dominant offensive line filled with Pro Bowlers, All-Pros, and Hall of Fame players such as Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, and Landon Dickerson. It seemed like common sense to just run the ball using the best offensive line in football, while utilizing dual-threat quarterback Jalen Hurts to gash you with his legs. Philadelphia Eagles would go on to lead the NFL in rushing in 2021. Jalen Hurts would lead the Philadelphia Eagles in rushing yards, most explosive runs, and most explosive plays in the NFL. Devontae Smith broke the Philadelphia Eagles rookie record for most receiving yards as a rookie with 916. Landon Dickerson played lights out, and rookie Kenneth Gainwell played absolutely fantastic in the Eagles' playoff loss versus the reigning NFL champions Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This influx of young talent put the entire NFL on notice, but it was 2022, Philadelphia Eagles added dimension that would take the league leading explosive offense to a whole nother level. First year starting quarterback Jalen Hurts and rookie head coach Nick Sirianni leading the Philadelphia Eagles to the playoffs in 2021, and young players like Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, and Kenneth Gainwell proven to have been great young talents, combined with an elite level offensive line and a team's new identity of smash mouth explosive style football. The Philadelphia Eagles have found their identity as a team and was in great shape to make a run in 2022 and build off a pretty solid year. All eyes were on Eagles general manager Howie Roseman to build off his stellar draft last year. And an absolute shocker, the Philadelphia Eagles traded for A.J. Brown during the draft. Completely unexpected and jaw-dropping. Jason Kelce couldn't believe it.
There's a trade and they're not telling me what it is. So we're going to find this out together. Oh my God! Do you see that? Do you see that?
A.J. Brown?
They traded for A.J. Brown.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
Kelsey, sit down. We're looking at your belly
button. This is big, Lefko. This is big.
The Eagles just traded
the
18th pick and a third-round pick for one of the best young wide receivers in the NFL, A.J. Brown, Jason Kelce. What is going on right now? What is going on right now?
Dude, Howie Roseman is working that Howie Roseman magic. That's what's going on. He's swindling. He's moving up in the draft to get Jordan Davis, and now he's trading to get an unbelievable receiver. I'm like on Christmas right now.
Jason, remember when you gave your speech after the Super Bowl and you were like, Howie Roseman was in a hallway closet and now he's out here trading for A.J. Brown, Jason. They knew, Jason. They said, we need to bring Jason Kelce out of retirement. You're not leaving. We're going to pay you $14 million. And now they're giving you A.J. Brown, bro. A.J. Brown.
Yeah, this is huge. This is instantly an upgrade for the offense. I mean, I can't tell you how much this is going to make us better. Howie is, he's a man on a mission right now, man. He's making things happen, and I'm a big fan. Here we go, baby! Here we go!
Wow, this has turned into one of the best nights of my life.
Incredible value, too.
A.J. Brown was drafted in 2019 in the second round by the Tennessee Titans. Standing at 6'1" and nearly 230 pounds, this phenom has the size, speed, strength, quickness, hands, route running ability, you name it, he has it. In just 4 years in the NFL, A.J. Brown has 273 receptions, 4,491 receiving yards, and 35 touchdowns. His first year as a Philadelphia Eagle, he produced a career year with 88 receptions, 1,496 receiving yards, 17 yards per catch, and 11 touchdowns, all of which are career highs. His 11 touchdowns is tied for a career best. A.J. Brown is not only one of the most complete wide receivers in the NFL, he is Jalen Hurts' best friend. Surrounded Jalen Hurts with his former teammate Devontae Smith last year in 2021, and now his best friend, A.J. Brown, in 2022. The Philadelphia Eagles essentially have two number one receivers paired up with the NFL's most explosive running attack, best offensive line, and a dual threat quarterback that led the entire NFL in explosive plays. The Eagles also had Hall of Famer Jason Kelce handpick his replacement in 2022 NFL Draft and Cam Jurgens. Sneaky good draft picks like this goes unnoticed when you trade for a guy like A.J. Brown. On paper, these new upgrades look like an absolute nightmare for opposing teams. They will prove to be far worse. Philadelphia Eagles will take the league by storm, picking up exactly where they left off last year when they finished the season, winning 7 of their last 9 regular season games in 2021, ripping off a staggering 8 straight wins to kick off the 2022 regular season. Simply couldn't be stopped offensively. Games were essentially over after only 2 or 3 quarters. It was so bad, players were seen laughing, wearing Batman masks, capes, and enjoying themselves in the midst of an actual televised NFL football game. Philadelphia Eagles will finish the 2022 NFL season with the best record in the NFC with a 14-3 record, tied for the best record in the NFL. Philadelphia Eagles will go on to demolish teams like the New York Giants and San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the Philadelphia Eagles will go on to lose the Super Bowl, but at this point, the entire league was put on notice. Once again, the Philadelphia Eagles, for the second straight year, will lead the NFL in most explosive plays, ranked second in points scored and total yards, while ranking 5th in rushing and 9th in passing yards. Adding a new dimension to the NFL's number 1 ranked rushing attack in the NFL in the form of a top 10 passing attack made the Philadelphia Eagles offense the best offense in Philadelphia Eagles history, and arguably the entire NFL for the 2022 NFL season. Jalen Hurts will go on to become an NFL MVP finalist. Despite missing multiple games, had a historic NFL season with 4,461 total yards, 35 touchdowns, and a 66.5 completion percentage. Jalen Hurts will also break the team's record of total touchdowns scored in a regular season with 35 and break the franchise record for points scored in a season with 447, leading the Philadelphia Eagles to the best regular season record in team history. 2 playoff wins and a Super Bowl appearance. A.J. Brown will go on to break the Philadelphia Eagles record for most receiving yards in the season with 1,496. Devontae Smith, in consecutive years, will find himself breaking another Philadelphia Eagles record with most receptions in the season with 95 to go along with 1,196 yards and 7 touchdowns. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line ranked number 1 in the entire NFL according to PFF. Lane Johnson and Jason Kelce both were awarded Pro Bowl and All-Pro honors. Landon Dickerson will receive a Pro Bowl in just his second year in the NFL. Drew Marotta also received the Pro Bowl invite, but as an alternate. After an absolutely amazing 2022 NFL season, he approached the 2023 NFL Draft. Once again, Philadelphia Eagles general manager Howie Roseman is in the spotlight yet again, not for being under scrutiny, but anticipation regarding what brilliant move he will pull off next. Because at this point, he's just been absolutely fantastic and making the NFL Draft his stage. In Howie Roseman fashion, he would go on to trade for running back DeAndre Swift and draft offensive lineman Tyler Steen. We personally wait for training camp and the 2023 NFL season to kick off soon. Only the future knows what these added pieces on offense bring, but I will say this. When you pair an explosive running back like DeAndre Swift with the NFL's most explosive team, you're bound to see even more explosive plays. I'm Weapon X. This is the Voice of the Eagles podcast. And like always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles.
Can y'all feel that? Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man? Can you feel what we about to get into? They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating in your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today, I got to have